Hello, I welcome you all to today's lesson where we want to find the values of x and y in different right-angled triangles by not using a calculator. So we are still looking at trigonometric ratios. This is what we are still looking at. And I told you that one thing that will help us in this topic is what we call SOHCAHTOA. This is what will help us in our topic, this topic that we are looking at. So we are given this triangle and we are told to find x. We want to find x. This is the first one that we are going to start with. So how can you find x there? How can you find x? So what are you given? This is the angle for reference. This is the angle that we'll be looking at. So this angle is facing this side. So this is where I've got the opposite. Then we know that this is 90 degrees. The 90 is there. So this one is the hypotenuse. So this is what we are given. We are given the opposite and the hypotenuse. So on this, you ask yourself, where do we have the opposite and hypotenuse? Here on the tan, we only have opposite and adjacent. Here we have adjacent and hypotenuse. But on sine, we have what? Opposite and hypotenuse. In other words, I'm going to use this part. This is what I'm going to use. So I'm going to use that one. That one means it is sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. This is what I'm going to do. So I say sine, what is my theta? 30. So it is 30, which is equal to, what is the opposite? Opposite is 4 over. What is my hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is x. I do that. So now I find what is sine 30. These are special angles. So for me, instead of using those triangles that I gave you, I can also use my finger on finding special angles. It's just very simple. So you can use those triangles that I gave you, or you can just use your fingers to find this. And if you won't get what I'm going to explain here, you can still look for that video on this same channel where you can learn how to find those special angles by using your fingers. So I'm going to upload the link in the comment section. So sine 30, you get your finger like this. So this is what? 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. Cos is going that side. Sine, you need to be coming this side. So 30 is here. This is where 30 is. Then I told you that what you need to do is that on top, you need to put a root. Down, it is 2. So you're just finding the number there. Then the number that is there is determined by the number of fingers that are left. So this is your finger. 30 is here. This is 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. So when we say sine, you need to come this side. So sine, you stand on 30 there. You want sine. How many fingers are left there? Only 1. So which means there is 1. Root 1 over 2. Root 1 is 1 over 2. So sine 30 is 1 over 2. So this is the same as 1 over 2. Have you seen? This is the same as 1 over 2. So I'm going to say 1 over 2 is equal to 4 over x. I cross multiply. This times that, I'm going to get x. X times 1 is x, which is equal to 2 times 4, that is 8. Then there are meters. I say x is equal to 80 meters. I'm done. Have you seen this way in which I've answered this? This is how you need to answer this. So in a case where I want to find, let us find cos 30 by using our hand. So I get my hand there. 30 is still there. But I want to find cos going this side. Have you seen? This is my left hand. So get your left hand, you do this. Then have you seen? This is 0, 30, 45, 60, 90. So no need of struggling. I know this topic gives a lot of people headache on knowing special angles. But this is a simple way in which you can find those special angles by using your fingers just like this. So 30 is here. This is where I've got my 30. My 30 is there. Cos, you need to go this side. So how many fingers are left? You stand on 30. How many fingers are left? 1, 2, 3. So which means that there you're just going to put a 3. So you're just going to put a 3 there. So just put a 3 like this. So which means cos 30 is root 3 over 2. Down, nothing is changing. Everything is remaining the same. Everything will remain the same. What is changing is just the number that is there. So this is what you need to do. So using your fingers, you can only find cosine and sine. This is what you need to do. So interesting. I believe no one can fail to do this. Let us look at another example. We look at another example. Let us look at another example. This is the other one that we have. This is another triangle that is there. So we want to find the value of x and y. How can we find the value of x that is there and the value of y? I believe this is one of the questions that I gave you in the exercise last night. For those of you that are under my online tuitions. So now, how can we go about this? How can we answer this one? How can we answer this one? So what you need to do is that let's say we want to start with x. X, have you seen? So on the x there, what is given? This is the angle 45 that we are using. 45 is facing this side. So this is the opposite. We've got the opposite. This thing is pointing that side. This is where we've got the hypotenuse. So we've got the hypotenuse there. Then this one, which is down here, is called the adjacent. Have you seen? So now, let us start by finding what? Let us start by finding the value of x. How can we find x? How can we find x? So on the x part here, x, what are we given? So we cannot consider this. We are going to assume that this is not given because this is a known value. So what we are given is hypotenuse and adjacent. Hypotenuse and adjacent, where hypotenuse and adjacent. You check on this word SOHCAHTOA. Hypotenuse and adjacent. Hypotenuse adjacent. On the what? On the cos. Here on the cos. So you know that is what? Cos theta is equal to adjacent over hypotenuse. This is what you are going to do. So with this now, you say now, that is cos what? 45. We are given cos 45, which is equal to, what is your adjacent? Adjacent is 8. What is your hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is x. You do this. Then cos 45, you can use two ways. I'm used with root 2 over 2. So I'll go with root 2 over 2, which is equal to, cos 45 is root 2 over 2. Use your finger like this. For where is 45? 0, 30, 45 is there. Cos, move this side. So 45 is there. How many fingers are left? These 2, 1, 2. So it's root 2 over 2, the one which is there. Then I just say 8 over x. You want to find the value of x. So what are you supposed to do? You cross multiply. So what is root 2 times x? That is root 2. It's root 2. Say root 2x, which is equal to what? 8 times 2, that is 16. Divide both sides by root 2. Divide both sides by root 2. So this and that will be cancelled, which means that the value of x is equal to 16 over root 2. This is the answer that you get. So with this answer, even if you used 1 over root 2 here, you still get the same answer. Have you seen? You still get the same what? Same answer. So following this procedure, if you want, you can, here on cos 45, you know that you can also use 1 over root 2. It is just one and the same thing. You can use 1 over root 2 if you want. It is just one and the same. So you can go with that one, or you can move with this one. They will still mark you. You're still going to find the same answer. This is what you need to do. These are things that you are supposed to do. So in a case where I use 1 over root 2, I know that 45 is here. Maybe there is someone that is behind. Cos 45 there. So I use 1 over root 2, which is equal to 8 over x. I cross multiply here. I'm going to have x, which is equal to, what am I going to have? 8 root 2. I'm going to have something like this. So if you want to prove this, these two answers are correct. This answer and that answer, these two are very much correct. This is very much correct. You can punch this on your calculator and punch that on your calculator. Discover that you're still going to find the same answer. So you can go with this, you can go with that. It's just one and the same thing according to your choice, what you want. So we've answered the first one, we've answered that one, we've answered that one, as simple as this. So x, we've answered x. We now go to y. So we want to find y. So y is here. Opposite and what? Adjacent. Opposite and adjacent. Opposite and adjacent. Opposite is there, adjacent is there, which means we are going to use tan. So I'm going to say tan theta is equal to opposite over adjacent. This is the value of x. So don't consider it as if it is given, because you've just found it. So adjacent is here and opposite is what we want to find. So you say this is tan theta is 45, which is equal to, what is the opposite? Opposite is y over, what is adjacent? Adjacent is 8. This is what you're going to do. Then this one is known. Tan 45 is known and you need to know it. Tan 45 is just 1, which is equal to y over 8. You put 1 there, you cross multiply. 1 times 8, it is 8. So it is 8, which is equal to y times 1, that is y. So have you seen? So therefore, y is just equal to 8. You've answered. You found the value of what? The value of y. So these are things that you are supposed to know. These are procedures that you need to put in place. Just like this, you are done. Have you seen? So I'm not even struggling in answering these things. As long as you know those special angles, everything automatically will become easy. But some of you were using calculators and I knew it. Whenever you just give me points, which I'm able to tell that you cannot find points like this, someone was using a calculator. So it's very easy to tell if someone is using a calculator. It's very easy. So let's just make sure that we follow these things. We know how to answer them correctly. Let us now move to the last one. We move to the last one in this lesson for today. So those of you under my teachings, I'm going to give you a question and exercise. I see how we are going to answer it based on this lesson that we've covered. So let us look at the last one. Let us look at the last one now. We look at the last one. This is a question that we are given. This is the last example that we are going to discuss about. And I also gave you this question as your exercise. So let us see how we can answer this one. How can we go about this? How can we answer it? So this is a very simple question. This is a very simple question. So you check. First of all, you need to start by finding what? Y. Because when you go to x, there's just a schist there. Hypotenuse is known. Opposite, hypotenuse is unknown. You know where this thing is pointing. This is known. This is unknown. This is unknown. This is unknown. But this other side, this triangle that is this side. So all these are right angled triangle because there is a 90 degrees there. There is a 90 degrees there. So I'm going to start with the y. And it is the y that will help me find the x. So this is the opposite. Have you seen? This is the hypotenuse. This is the hypotenuse. This line here is the hypotenuse. So this one here is the hypotenuse. So this is my hypotenuse. So now I'm given opposite and what? Hypotenuse. Opposite and hypotenuse. Opposite and hypotenuse. Opposite and hypotenuse. So opposite and hypotenuse, it is sine. So it is sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. You say over, don't say where is the over coming from. We are supposed to multiply. Just get it the way it is. We divide. So now we say sine 45 is equal to, what is your opposite? Opposite is 3. What is your hypotenuse? Hypotenuse, it is the y that you want to calculate. You put a y there. And then you know that sine 45 is 1 over root 2. Or you can say root 2 over 2. Just one and the same. 3 over y. But I think saying on the 45 part, cos and sine, let's just be using 1 over root 2 for easy calculation. Have you seen? 1 times y, it's y is equal to 3 root 2. This is the answer. So this is the what? The y. This is the y. We found what? We found y. Y is known. Have you seen? So y, I know that this is the value for y, which is 3 root 2. Just need to, I cross multiply it there. So when you cross multiply, this is what you are going to find. Have you seen? As simple as this. So these are some of the things that are supposed to be known. You need to make sure that you know this. The same way I'm answering them, this is the same way you are supposed to know them. Then let us now move to the other part. So I've answered y. So I'm going to write it here in case I forget. Y is equal to 3 root 2. Like this. So now I move to x. How can I find x? X, I'll use this triangle. The triangle which is there, have you seen? I'm going to use that triangle which is there. So this side is the opposite. The angle is facing this side. So this is the opposite. And what else is given? Where this thing is pointing, this is the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse is known. So where do you have opposite and hypotenuse? Opposite, hypotenuse. Opposite, hypotenuse. We'll still use sine. So I'm going to say sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. This is what I'm going to do. Then I say sine 60 degrees is equal to, what is my opposite? What is my opposite? Opposite is the x that I want to calculate over, what is my hypotenuse? Hypotenuse is this one which I found. I found this one which is 3 root what? Root 2. This is what I'm going to do. So what is sine 60? Sine 60, you get your finger like this. 60, 0, 30, 45, 60. 60 is here. So 60 is here. I told you sine, you move this side. So 1, 2, 3 is root 3 over 2. Root 3. So I'm going to write it here. So that it is what? Root 3 over 2. This is what I'm going to do. Which is equal to, so this is now equal to what? Equal to x over what? 3 root 2. This is what I'm going to do. So this is what you are supposed to do, and this is what you need to understand. So here, what am I supposed to do? I cross multiply. So this will be 2x, which is equal to, then I multiply there. So if I write them the way they are, have you seen? I'm going to have 3 root 2 root what? 3. So 3 root 2 root 2 root 3 there. This is what I'm going to have. Have you seen? That is what, here you are not using a calculator. You don't have a calculator. So make sure you are doing this. Here you don't have a what? A calculator. So where you say this is 2 over 2, this is over 2. So this and that will be cancelled. Have you seen how the x is? The x there is what? X is equal to 3 root 2 root 3 over what? Over 2. Like this. Have you seen? This is what I've found. This is the answer that you found. So if you want to expand, you can expand, but if you don't know what you are doing, just leave it like this. So if you don't know what you are doing, it's better you just leave your answer like this. You just say this is the value of x. They will know that this person was not using a calculator. So this is the value of x and this is the value of y. This is what you are supposed to do. So we end here. We end here for tonight. Let me now give you questions. Those of you that are under my online tuitions now, let me give you a question that we will practice. So let me give you a question that we are going to practice through. We are going to practice through. Let me now give you a question that we are going to practice through.